Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. We're going to take our 30-day post-release look at Edge of Eternity's collector box sales data off of TCG Player, the whole pre-release period, and now out 30 days post-release. It has sold 5,872 boxes. Golly, I hope WotC doesn't start increasing the print runs at $2,149,000 for an average price per box of $366, which, if you pay attention closely to the market, you'll realize they're only selling at about 335, 340 today. And so the price has been coming down. It has retreated about $100 at this point. It peaked up around 430. You can see that on even on the 7-day moving average plot. You can see it peaking at about 430 up here right before release. And now today it's down into the mid to high 330s. So dropped nearly $100. And when that average sales price is 366, man, wouldn't you feel bad if you missed out at selling at 430 and now it's $100 lower and you could have sold? So we're going to look at this compared to a couple things. First, we're just going to throw Final Fantasy up there for fun and show that on the cumulative spend plot, it is outperforming Edge of Eternity's 3-1. So not that interesting. The interesting comparison we're going to have is Tarkir and Foundations because they are also standard expansions. They are magic universes within properties, and they're very recent. And so what we see is the blue line of Edge of Eternities here at 2,149,000. We have the red line of Tarkir, which out to the 30-day mark in its life had sold a little over 1.5 million, and the yellow line of Foundations a little over 1 million. So it's interesting to see these three boxes in order eclipsing each other by about an additional $500,000 in cumulative sales for the collector boxes on TCG Player out to 30 days across all three of these expansions. You know, it really makes you wonder what the undercurrent of the market is, because you can have good sales like this in a market that's reversing. Or it could be that the undercurrent is still positive, it's still rising, fact that the market price of these Edge of Eternity collector boxes has fallen by $100 since a couple days before release, it points to it more likely being a bad undercurrent than a good one driving the market. That, maybe this Edge of Eternity's release was kind of the high watermark for a little while. Now, yes, I know Spider-Man boxes are what, $830 or something like that today, but they bounced around up at 900 for a little while and they've pulled back even now before release. It's a little harder to get a read on anything with the Avatar collector boxes because those are still so far out in the future until they release the week before Thanksgiving. But it appears that possibly we might be seeing the market turning this point. I've been talking about the danger of this for a while now, that WotC's inability to deliver enough play boxes to the right places in the market in order to get play box prices on standard expansions to come down to reasonable levels, which would be, for a 30 booster expansion box, somewhere around 110, 115, 120 would probably be about reasonable, maybe 125, maybe 130 on an exceptional one right after it releases, etc. But WotC has been incapable of doing that for the newer 30 booster pack standard expansion collector boxes. That's going to hurt the market in the long run because it discourages the players. It makes them feel like they are not getting a good value for their hobby dollar. And I fear that this Edge of Eternity's collector box performance is kind of the first real concrete sign of that happening. So we'll take another look at this at 60 days post-release. Obviously, we'll have looks at all the Spider-Man stuff starting 2 weeks prior to release on it. My patrons have already had a couple of looks at that over on Patreon, but everything else will be up here on YouTube. Subscribe so you don't miss any of it. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.